So we're gonna look at some of Jerry's improv tactics on China Cat Sunflower, specifically from the Veneta 72, although someone told me that people from there call it Veneta. But either way, we're gonna look at 3 general approaches that he did and how to apply it to 3 different situations. It's gonna be much easier than you think. Let's just listen to the first one of me playing it in 3 different situations, and I'll show you what's going on and what I did. So first off, he did a lot of the same stuff on this tune, during the different time periods. It didn't like drastically change. And this is something that like in the Europe 72 one, most popular version, he kind of did a lot of the same stuff. So he starts off, right, we're in G, right? It's playing a G Mixolydian sound. He starts way off up here. The opponent just playing this, major pentatonic stuff, just bending right away. Right, kind of, and then this kind of fast, like 16th note, kind of bluegrassy stuff. So it's got a mix of this kind of like rock and bluegrass kind of feel to it. So he's taken that, that's just the beginning of it, and that's all I played. Again, not for note, just to kind of like that approach. But the thing that happens is that it then changes to D, right? But now it's playing that D Mixolydian. At the end of it, it transitions typically into I Know You Rider, right? So while all I did was take the same idea and thinking about playing it around this shape right here, this G shape, which is in the E shape, if you know your cage system. And if you don't, I have a cage cheat sheet. I'll put a link to the description down below where you can learn all these open chord shapes and then the scales that go around them, the arpeggios, the chord shapes, major, minor, all that stuff. Super helpful for learning this kind of Jerry approach. So he's playing around that E shape, right? And if you want to then switch it to D, right? You just go around the D chord in the same E shape. And everything was the same as you saw, when I was playing along with the track. So now, right? And the one thing is, with this first note, really work on that. Make sure you get that bend. And from here, it's a whole step bend, so go up 2 frets. And really make sure you're getting that pitch. And how much you're bending here is going to be different than here because it's a different part of the guitar. So it's not going to be exactly the same. You got to get used to those little differences. So this is a great one to work on getting your bends better. It's something that I'm always working on, trying to get my pitch a little bit better. Then the last part of it is then going to the E, which happens, I think, was at the second solo section. It goes to an E, and it's the same thing. So this is the perfect example to be moving ideas around to different keys. It goes now to an E Mixolydian kind of sound, and then you just move it up 2 frets. So it's like you get your G here, your D here, and then you get your E in the E shape. And then what do you know? All the same stuff there. Right? So this is a great way to take, I don't want to say a lick, but sort of a lick or an idea, an area to be playing around with and just loosely play around it and move it to different areas. So one, you get even more familiar with it because you're playing it over and over and you're moving it to different places and getting used to those little nuances. And 2, you're getting familiar with that same approach and not just for one key, but moving it to different keys. So it opens things up because everything I try to learn, I try to be able to apply it to any key I'm playing with. So it's not just something that I'm doing, in isolation. So let's check out the second one and we'll do the same process. So this one is now doing even more of that bluegrassy sound, and it's playing around the G shape, right? So if you have your open G, play this. Again, if this stuff's new to you, or you just want to get it down better, check out that caged cheat sheet. And he's playing this, minor third. It's kind of like playing this, super typical major pentatonic, right, around that shape. But throwing in this, and this note too. And up here, and then he does this typical thing that over time he developed this even more and would do this all the time. That quick pull off, just chromatic right in a row, but from a chord tone to a chord tone. That fifth of the G to the major third, and then sometimes bending here. So again, I'm not showing you note for note. I just want to show you the overall approach of what he's doing. Right? And then to move it to D, you just move it down to, here we go, 10th fret. And it's all the same stuff. And the more you do this, the easier it gets to just kind of play, because it's just shapes. That's the beauty of guitar, is just really leveraging the way the guitar is laid out, that these shapes you can just move around and play the same stuff, same exact fingers. And then for the E, you just move it up 2 frets up here. All that kind of stuff there. And that's it with that. Let's check out the third one. Now, if you find this stuff helpful, check out my 5-day Jerry Garcia challenge. I'll put a link also in the description down below, where we go over these musical devices that he does in I Know You Writer. So it's the perfect kind of follow-up to this tune, But let's look at what's going on here. First off, what do you notice that's different here? So he changed pickups, so into the bridge pickup kind of changes up that sound when kind of that big change when it goes to the E. You don't have to do that, but it's just a nice little touch. So what is he doing? He does this over the E, and again, kind of does this like every version. It's like this similar kind of stuff, but you can apply it to all the stuff. So this will be starting on G right here. And now this is going around the A shape. So here's our A, move it up here, G. And this is now playing a little more of the modal sound, like kind of, and I should say too, people are always like thinking about, I hear people commenting like, so-and-so, they use modes, this and that, or they're no modes. It's all just music. It's not really like someone's in a mode, switching to like, they're in a mode, they're playing pentatonic, they're playing a blues scale. It's like switching it out. It's just music that's just coming out, but overall, this area, just as a way to kind of like think about it, it's focusing a little bit more on the mode sound. So that's all I mean when I say that, There's G mixolydian, and really just these 3 strings. If you don't even know what mixolydian is, don't even worry about it. Just look at these notes right here. 10th fret, 12, 10, 12, 13, 10, same thing, 12, 13. And you're just starting off with the root note, so here's G. And then a lot of half-step bending, pre-bending. So bending to that note. And then same thing here. So to get that sound, it's much easier than you think, because you just get those notes and then right there. And that's it. You get the little kind of melodic thing of and that helps. But if you don't even do that, just kind of, it still gives you the overall kind of sound. And now how we apply that to the other ones? Well, there's D in the A shape. And then, of course, E, move it up 2 frets, same thing. And there you go. So, you know, I hope that not only with this stuff here, you're going to take the idea, though, and try to like, okay, how do I apply this to different keys, move things around, whether it's a specific lick or just a scale, you know, but also like kind of an approach of what's going on with each of these 3 kind of musical scenarios, and get really, you know, used to playing in different areas on the guitar so you're not locked in. And that's how you can really open things up to get this really freely, you know, improvising approach to guitar. So I hope that helps. And if you want to check out more Jerry breakdowns, check out this one right here where we break down what he does when he improvises.